Gary, Indiana. How did a once thriving town, known as the Magic City, end up earning itself the title Murder Capital of America? Gary, Indiana was founded in 1906 by the United States Steel Corporation and was named after the chairman of the company, Elbert H. Gary. The steel factory attracted workers from all over. By 1920, the Gary factory employed over 16,000 workers and was the largest steel plant in the country. The town was thriving. Life was good. New schools and churches were being constructed. New businesses were created. People were coming from all sorts of places to visit. Everything was going great in Gary, and it earned itself the nickname of the Magic City. So what happened? Unfortunately, Gary depended too much on steel. With growing competition from foreign steel manufacturers, there was no choice but to make steel cheaper. This led to many people being let go. The total amount of workers at the steel plant went from 30,000 in 1970 to only 6,000 in 1990, and the total population dropped by 60,000 people in that time. Those who could afford to leave Gary did, and those who could not stayed there and lived in poverty. It was around this time in 1990 that Gary had become known as the murder capital of America. Join me today as we visit this once flourishing town to explore some of the many abandoned buildings. We will be checking out an abandoned high school, a train station, a theater, and a stadium. These buildings all tell a story. As we walk through them, try to imagine what they may have looked like back when Gary was known as the Magic City and when the town was full of smiles and optimism. Our next explore is this abandoned stadium. This is the outside of the stadium here. Before we check out the seats in the field, I'm going to show you guys some stuff I found inside. I don't know why, but inside here there's a whole bunch of encyclopedias. And a record. There's a chest with someone's address written inside of it. It's a weird collection of stuff. Oh wow. Pristine condition. I really want to find a way to get to the bleachers and get to where the field would have been. I didn't expect there to be stuff on the inside to explore, actually. We're under the bleachers now. So this place we're exploring is Gilroy Stadium. This stadium opened up in 1956 and could seat 10,000 people. The price and the time to build this both exceeded expectations, so some of the features like the running track were never finished. Despite that, the stadium was still used for sports, concerts, and other public gatherings. In 1965, a talent competition was held in this stadium, and the Jackson 5 actually performed here. Holy shit. Let's go to the announcer booth, and then we'll come back here, and we'll explore this afterwards. We're in the booth. This is definitely one of the more unique places I've explored. I've been to plenty of schools, things like that, but this is something new and interesting. Never been to an abandoned stadium. And if you thought I wasn't gonna go up here, you're crazy. We have to. Oh, snap. Don't use that one. As promised, let's go ahead and go down into that other spot I showed you earlier. Remember that fenced off area we saw earlier where a ton of the ground was missing? That's right up here. That's the same level that we're walking on now. More bathrooms in there. And this is probably where the snack stand would have been. Concession stand, get yourself some nachos. So I would think this would be the kitchen. Another thing that I presume to be a concession stand. And holy shit, the floor on both sides is just completely fallen down. That's cool. Go ahead and get one last good look at the stadium, because now we're about to go explore the train station. Our next explorer is Gary Union Station, which was built in 1910, 4 years after Gary was founded. Trains ran through Gary to Baltimore, Detroit, New York City, and a few other locations. This exact train station was actually featured in the 1951 movie Appointment with Danger.
At the railroad station.
As I was doing research on this train station, I also found a news report about a redevelopment plan for this place. You guys will have to let me know what you think about this one.
The city of Gary wants to become a new hub for high-tech development. New renderings were unveiled today of what the Gary Union Station will look like following an $8 million renovation. It's called Fiber Smart House. The city wants to do workforce training here and give new tech businesses a place to grow and get resources.
This is actually the sketchiest staircase I've ever walked on, which is saying a lot if you've seen the other places I've been to. Now, it wasn't that high, but it was basically just a bunch of loose boards resting on top of each step. One last look at the train station, and we're off to the abandoned school. We're exploring the abandoned Emerson High School. So as you can see, there's multiple buildings. There's one right next to us here, and then this building continues on pretty far that way. Emerson High School was built in 1909 and was Gary's first high school. This school was designed by architect William B. Ittner, who designed over 400 school buildings. I've actually been inside of two of the other schools that he designed, Cleveland High School, aka the Castle School, and Carr School. Emerson High School came close to lasting 100 years, but unfortunately it had to be closed down due to mold. Students started to get sick, so they decided to try and fix the mold problem. The problem ended up being much worse than anyone thought. They ended up running out of money, and they weren't able to fully get rid of the mold. Because of that, the school had to close down in 2008. This is one we will not be walking on, guys. Even though it was in really bad shape, this ended up being one of my favorite rooms. So we're gonna check this out, and then I'm gonna take you guys to the theater. Alright guys, now we're gonna go explore the Palace Theater. The Palace Theater was completed in 1925. It had 3,000 seats, so plenty of people could come here to see motion pictures and stage shows. The Palace Theater was actually featured on the History Channel's TV show, Life After People.
At the center of downtown sits the 3,000-seat Palace Theater, one of the most legendary old showplaces in the Midwest.
What was once a nice place to bring your date on a Friday night is now a place to bring your camera and flashlight and talk to your YouTube audience. So I think this is the front entrance right here. This side's all boarded up. This is the side by the main street. The way I went in was the back. Looks like you could buy tickets right up here.
Tickets, please.
I can walk up the stairs, but I'm not guaranteeing that I'm gonna walk any farther than the top of the staircase. Thought the floor would be a lot worse up here. It's all right, to be honest. This is a view we want to see. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. This is one hell of a view. It's fucking cool. I didn't think we were gonna be able to get up here. Look at this. There's another abandoned building right here. You could just walk right in that thing too. But then like this building here looks really nice. There's a few nice looking buildings around here. Gary is not all like this. A lot of it is, but there's some stuff that's not in bad shape. I feel okay walking up here, as long as you don't step in one of these. This is the projector room. Here's the holes for the projectors. Let's give you guys one more look at this place. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a few people saying that they wanted me to include the history of the places I was exploring. That's what I tried to do in this video. And it was actually really interesting learning about this stuff. Thanks again, guys. Make sure to send this to your friends. Send it to your grandma, send it to your dog. I don't know, share it, like, subscribe. Thanks, guys.